So, I've heard some debate on how to pronounce Shang-Chi. I read it Shang-Chi because I'm from Chicago and I read everything with the hard A. Shang-Chi. Hot dog. Chicago. In the movie, they point out that it's pronounced Shang-Chi. I think he says C for the chi part. Again, chi, I always think chi because, I don't know, chia pet. If I sound like an ignorant American at all, maybe I am just a little bit. Now all these other YouTubers are out there correcting it, saying it is Shang-Chi. And I swear they said Shang-Chi in the movie. And for the first 30 minutes, he refers to himself as Sean. He calls himself Sean. So it's like, all right, I'm a little confused here. I have all these people telling me what to say. I don't know what to call him. But you know what that makes me think of? The Last Airbender by M. Night Shyamalan. All right, so you got Shang-Chi, all right? Shang-Chi. They're saying that this is pronounced ung, like a U-N-G, okay? Bear with me here. The main character of The Last Airbender's name is Aang, okay? M. Night Shyamalan, in that entire movie, and as a director, pronounces Aang's name as ung. And when that went down, everyone flipped shit about it. All the YouTubers for this terrible, terrible movie just kept ragging on M. Night for how poorly he pronounced Aang. When now they're turning around saying, oh, it's not Shang, it's Shung. So you're meaning to tell me maybe M. Night Shyamalan was correct? And maybe you owe that man an apology? Just saying. Just saying. If we're gonna get into semantics here, maybe we take a step back and apologize to the guy that made the terrible movie for how he pronounced the character's name.
That was like 8 years ago, asshole. People don't forget.
This movie is about Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi is seemingly a normal dude. He's living a normal life until his past catches up with him and he's forced to face his destiny. You know, it's a Marvel Disney origin story. So he's got some issues with his dad over his mom's death. Oh yeah, so his dad is the Mandarin. Then there's some martial arts mixed with some superpowers, and boom! You have yourself a new Avenger for future movies. Shang-Chi is played by this guy, Simu Liu? Apologies about the name pronunciation. Ignorant. They don't waste any time making this character as relatable and likable as possible. And you know what? It totally worked. I love this guy. He's everything that Iron Fist was not. I like this character. I liked his character arc quite a bit, and I'm happy to see a new hero thrown into the mix of this universe. Awkwafina is in this movie. She plays Shang-Chi's... She plays his BFF. She's been his best friend for 10 years, and she's not going anywhere. She's a movie trope. She's the best friend that is reflecting the audience throughout the movie as she experiences everything. And being that best friend character, she's the comic relief also. Okay, Awkwafina. I've never found her style of humor funny. She just doesn't make me laugh. Some people love it. I'm just not a fan. Humor is subjective. I think her style of humor will play to that TikTok audience quite well. She did tone it down a bit though. You know what I'm talking about? Like how she just yells everything instead of talking and somehow people think that's funny. She toned that down and she did make me laugh a couple of times. I think I just would have preferred a different actress in that role. But that's just me. Maybe like Constance Wu. I think she's great. I don't know. Can we bump up the age a little bit and just do Ali Wong? Can Ali Wong be in the movie? I think she's hilarious. Just not a fan of Awkwafina. She was fine though. She played the character she needed to be just fine. The villain of this story is played by Tony Leung. 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 Apologies, sir. Surprise, surprise, he's the Mandarin, even though they brush it off like Iron Man 3 never happened. Anyway, this dude's backstory is very Castlevania Season 1. Shout out to the Castlevania fans that know what's up. This dude has lived for like 1,000 years, fucking shit up, and then he created this group, the 10 Rings, which is basically like the Hand from Daredevil, a secret underground organization of assassins. Typical Marvel shit. Then this dude falls in love, makes a family, loses his wife, turns bad again. And that creates a totally justifiable motive for his actions throughout this movie. This dude has already renounced his villainous ways, and now he's back at it to get back the woman that he loved and lost. I can't be mad at that. You can't be mad at that. He is a shitty father, for sure. But in the MCU, there's way shittier fathers. Thanos, he's a worse father. I think Odin is a pretty terrible father. Probably worse than him anyway. Odin's killed way more people than the Mandarin, who we don't call the Mandarin anymore. Good villain, good motive. I liked him a lot. So, is the hype real? I've been hearing all these amazing things about this movie and how amazing it is, and I know that they're just trying to reel people in to come see the movie because Disney and Marvel gotta make their dough. I will say this, it is pretty damn good. It does follow a Marvel formula, but there's enough layers to this story that keeps it different and entertaining. And that entertainment factor is pretty much a guarantee. I don't think anyone can watch this movie and not be entertained. The action is fantastic. The martial arts and the choreographed fight scenes are unreal, and honestly, it's refreshing to see so much work and effort put into them. It's like John Wick, but less violent. This is a big movie too, a bigger scale than I anticipated. For the action scenes specifically, they use large sets and they utilize the whole space. There's a fight scene that happens on a bus that was a blast to watch. It was a blast. The battle at the end was way bigger than I expected. Like, dragons and shit. For the most part, I did love all the characters. They had their own separate full story arcs under this overall story, and somehow it all fit in this 2 hours and 12-minute runtime. And with that runtime, it does bring some exposition, and that exposition is a bit long-winded sometimes, but it's necessary. I wasn't mad at the exposition. It filled in the story that I needed to hear, and the way that they spaced it out and plugged it into different scenes, I think it worked. By the end of the story, I understood the full story. I was a big fan of the love story in this movie. It didn't have anything to do with Shang-Chi. The full love story, Shang-Chi, the love story that's going on in this movie has to do with his parents. The love that these two had for each other leads to the conflict of the movie and the aftermath that all these characters are dealing with. Early decisions that cause consequences later on. That's good writing. It's good shit. I did have a couple issues, nothing major. In a post-Endgame movie, I want an explanation of where these characters were and what they were doing when Thanos was fucking up the universe. It doesn't have to be a huge explanation. I just want to know what they were up to. I also think this movie on the timeline could have happened within the last 5 years. There's nothing that's cementing it to present day other than saying this is present day. It could have taken place before Endgame, and I don't think it really would have made any difference. What else? I'm not a fan of Awkwafina. Oh yeah, there's several characters in this movie that are listening to headphones at any given time, and they're all wired headphones. None of them are wearing earbuds, and I found that very odd. You said it was present day. How often do you see people not wearing earbuds nowadays? I know it makes no difference, but it's something that my brain noticed, and I just think that's weird. Isn't that weird? That's weird, right? There's a cameo in this movie that I honestly couldn't believe. I sat in my seat and audibly said, "What the fuck?" And you know what? This cameo gave me some closure that I think, as a fan of Marvel movies, that I truly needed. I needed this closure, and I was satisfied with that after the fact. You'll know what I'm talking about if you see the movie. Overall, I do think this movie lives up to the hype. I think you should go see it. It's a great time. Great time. Had a great time watching it. Okay? See ya. Subscribe! Aquafina has that thing. It's like her sense of humor where and again, some people love it, I don't. Where it's like she just yells a sentence. So it's like I'm going to the library today and she's like, "I'm going to the library today. I don't like how this food tastes. Oh, I don't like how this food tastes." Comedy.